Hereditary is written and directed by Ari Aster. This is his feature film directorial debut, and this movie follows a family who just lost someone very close to them. And it is after this loss that a wave of grief and darkness consumes this family as they start to uncover some mysteries about their ancestry. This film was produced by A24, and if you've been following my channel for some time now, you will quickly learn that I have a pretty unhealthy obsession with this studio. Every single year, the studio continues to break new ground. Every single year, the studio delivers such a consistent quality level of storytelling that is unlike that of any other major motion picture studio today. And specifically with horror films, the studio has always produced very quality, very unique, very fascinating horror films, and Hereditary is no exception to this rule. Similar to that of The Babadook, this is a film that has a lot of horror elements, but at the core of its story is a family drama about grief. In fact, I would actually say that if you were going to make a pie graph of this film, a large majority of it would be taken up by drama as opposed to horror. Now, that's not to say that this movie doesn't have horrific moments, because it definitely does. In fact, this film had such a profound effect on me in a way that really no other horror film that I've seen in the theater has had on me. From scene one, I had this very clearly defined sense of dread. As I was watching this movie, I felt like somebody was just consistently putting pressure on my chest, and I felt like after these scenes, I was short of breath. This is a deeply disturbing film, and there are a number of shots in this movie that I really don't think I'm ever going to forget. There's certain imagery in this film that it's just there, and Aster makes the decision to show it to us for a considerable amount of time. Toni Collette portrays the mother in this film and the creator of these very intricate doll houses, and she is so good in this movie. This film makes the decision to put a lot of weight on her shoulders, to give her some very dramatic scenes and some moments that she as an actress can really sink her teeth into. And if I was the director of this film, I would have been a bit nervous, because she really goes for it in a lot of these scenes and runs the possibility of being seen as a bit over the top, but I think she walks that line very well. I thought she was incredible. But I do think after I left this film, the biggest standout for myself was director Ari Aster. And after seeing this film, whatever this guy does next, I'm totally there for it, similar to with Robert Eggers at the end of The Witch. I just hope it won't take as long for him to make a follow-up film. And like The Witch and a lot of A24 horror films, this is a movie that you really either love it or hate it. Because with what Aster does in this film, you can really only react in one of two ways. You can react like I did and just be completely terrified, and in some scenes just so scared to your bones and just paralyzed with fear. Or another reaction that you could have is you could laugh at this movie, which is a way that a lot of audience members in this film reacted. Because I've been saying this for years, that the line between horror and comedy is razor thin. How is it possible that I find something completely terrifying, but somebody else just finds it hilarious? And I think at the end of the day, it's more just personal preference. And that's why it's so difficult for me to say whether or not you should go see this movie. I think if you're a horror fan, you should seek out this film, because you're going to develop a strong reaction to it regardless. You're either going to love it like I did, or you're going to hate it like I'm sure a lot of audience members in my theater did. But for myself personally, if I was to offer a snapshot of the exact types of things that completely get under my skin and do more than just creep me out, this is the movie that I would show you. Because this isn't a film that I found to be a fun horror movie to watch. This isn't like It or The Conjuring, where you're having a good time being scared. No, this movie is difficult to watch. This is a deeply disturbing movie. And even when I was driving home from the theater, I still felt this darkness and this depression following me. However, I did find this movie to be completely satisfying to watch. I love nothing more than watching a horror film that is so meticulously and purposefully crafted, like the dollhouses that are promptly displayed in this movie. And it is because of that that this film really requires you to watch it a second time, which is the reason why this review is up today. And I promise you that on the second viewing, you will notice things that you didn't notice before, and the entirety of Astor's vision just becomes so clear. I just love seeing a film that does not have an ounce of fat on it. Everything in this movie is purposeful and critical to the overall picture, and I honestly just love pretty much everything about this movie. I love the themes that it is engrossed in. I love the brilliant symbolism that is sprinkled throughout it. I even love the title of this movie and the meaning that it has on this film. Toni Collette gives the best performance that I have seen so far this year. Ari Aster is a name that I will soon not forget, and I just cannot wait to see what he works on next. This is a deeply disturbing horror film, and I think that this is a movie that just, when I watched it, it just became an instant classic. I think that this film firmly cements its place in being one of the best horror movies of the 21st century. And like the best horror films that came before it, this is not just a movie that relies on its scares. It has a great performance from everyone in the entire cast. It has an incredible soundtrack, brilliant editing, and this movie just offers such a well-told character study about someone's reaction to grief and whether or not they can actually overcome it. So did you guys see Hereditary? What did you think about it? Leave your thoughts and opinions down below. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching today. I hope you liked today's video, and if you did, you can click on the link down below and subscribe to my channel to see more movie reviews and movie related things. And guys, thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.